Live here tonight, we have ARCS behind the driver with our special guest, Austin Mongold. He'll be live here in the studio. Stick around for, I believe this is episode 16, with Austin Mongold.
Welcome to ARCS, Behind the Driver Podcast.
Here with Austin Mongold for episode number 16 of ARCS Behind the Driver. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right.
I'm good.
Can't complain too much, I guess.
Well, good. We didn't we have we were supposed to do a podcast and then did I cancel on you or?
Yeah, I think you canceled on me.
Yeah.
I didn't have my shit at the time anyway. So.
That's right. You didn't have your camera, so we postponed it. So All right. Well, I'll throw it to you. Let everyone know. Obviously, not a whole lot of people know about you. Tell us who you are, kind of where you live, a little bit about you, and just a little about you.
Uh, so I live in Florida, Tampa Bay area. I'm not from here. I'm from Chesapeake, Virginia. Uh, there's a couple NASCAR drivers from there. I couldn't tell you which ones. That part's not important anyway. Um, yeah, I mean, I just turned 23, so I'm still pretty young.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I was a huge Kevin Harvick fan. Still trying to find who my favorite driver is, which sucks. But I've been a fucking huge NASCAR fan forever.
Yeah.
And shit, I mean, but before like 2012, 2013, I was still like young and stupid, so I didn't know how to really watch the races every week. So I didn't really start watching on a weekly basis until like end of 2012, beginning of 2013. And before that, I was a Dale Jarrett fan. Both me and my dad were, and then I became a Harvick fan and kind of rode it out the rest of his career.
Well, he's still. I mean, he's racing at North Wilkesboro. What do you think about that?
Don't get me started on that shit.
Why not? Cause he's running
Cause
for a
he's
cop.
driving fucking garbage.
But garbage,
Unfortunately.
garbage that has won some races. Maybe. I mean, you can't you can't deny that car has won a lot of races. I mean, what are you rooting for him or not? Like, I mean, I know he's probably not going to run the
How about
actual
this?
race, but
I'll root for the driver, but not the car
so
or
you,
team.
so
I
you
couldn't care
are.
less about any of that other bullshit.
All right. Well, I mean, I know that me personally, like if Casey Kane, because I was a huge Casey Kane fan before Ryan Blaney kind of got going in Cup. And if Casey Kane came back, even if it was just for a practice and a qualifying session, I would be rooting for Casey Kane. Didn't matter if he was in a Toyota, Ford, Chevrolet, I wouldn't care. Like you gotta have some, like Kevin Harvick's your dude. Like you gotta have some.
Yeah, but he's just driving for my least favorite team imaginable. It's like, of course, that would be the circumstances that he comes back to, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just how it works, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
he's still racing. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I know that
Sp-
I'm not a huge fan of Hendrick either. I mean, I like Chase Elliott just because he's from Georgia and he's Bill Elliott's son. But I'm not. I'm a Ford guy, so I like Fords. I don't like Hendrick Motorsports really overall, but it's cool to see Kevin Harvick get back behind the car. I mean, that'll be fun. There'll be a lot of people watching just for that.
yeah, I'm sure.
I mean,
I guess I
it's
can't complain too much, right?
well, my real question is, you love Dr. Pepper. Do you like Bubba Wallace? Because he's sponsored by Dr. Pepper.
Um,
Why can't Bubba
yeah, I
Wallace be
mean,
your next favorite NASCAR driver?
I don't know. I mean, granted, this is a Bubba Wallace hat I'm wearing. Can't really see too well because of headphones, but I mean, I liked Bubba like back when he was still running trucks. Like, I mean, I have always kind of liked them, but it's just, I don't know. Like you said, like you're a Ford guy. I would consider myself to be a Ford guy, so I would prefer to stay with the Ford team. You know, whether it's through Haas or even RFK.
Yeah.
But it's just like, I mean, Bubba can just be one of my other like favorites that I don't like. If he wins, alright, cool, yay. If he wrecks, oh, that sucks. You know, I like him, but I don't think he'll be in like my top like 5 or 10, but probably not my top three.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Theo Vaughn once said that well, some guy he knew was in his top 400. So I think Bubba Wallace is probably in my top 400 of NASCAR drivers. I just don't like Bubba Wallace. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. That's just me personally. But anyway, let's get into some questions. So one thing that I don't know, and I'd love to hear the story behind it. How did you find ARCS, and how did you, what brought you into ARCS? Who brought you into ARCS, and what's one of the first series that you ran in ARCS?
So there was really like two people. There was, I heard about ARCS from Gavin Hudspeth. I think I pronounced his last name wrong. Which you may or may not remember him.
I do, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I do remember him, yep.
he told me about it because I was on his team in Red Hot. Like, shit, this is probably about 2 years ago now, year and a half or so. And I was like, oh, I might get iRacing and start getting into that. And he was like, oh, I got this league that you can join. But I didn't end up joining ARCS until about, it was like March of last year. And that was because of Jeremy. And I've known him and Steven and Jonathan Adams for years. Fuck, I used to race a Heat Evolution League with Jeremy and Jonathan Adams. And me and my boy Nightfall. It was me, Nightfall, Cheeks, and Bert, which you don't know those other three people.
Mm-mm.
But we had a super team, and Thrills, where Jonathan Adams was also on that team.
What was Jonathan Adams' gamer tag? Do you know off the top of your head?
Well,
I'd love to know.
I know right now it's Thrills. I think back then it was Thrills, but it's changed a little bit. Now it's gone back to Thrills.
No, okay.
But
because I didn't know it at the time because Steven's gamer tag was Horatio Kane, correct?
yeah.
And I had no clue. I raced with him. I think I ran in SXRL a few times, and like I had no idea. Going back now looking at it, I realized that like I raced with you. What was your gamer tag? I don't even remember what your gamer tag was, but I know you were there.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember when that was, because that was, what, 21, 22, something like that?
Yeah, it was, probably early 2021 maybe.
Yeah, 2021, because I was still working at Chick-fil-A at the time.
Yeah.
I think back then my gamer tag was Conrail Lime.
Mm-hmm.
Or that might have been when I changed it to Unloading Lime again.
I remember Conrail. I remember that because I was in SXRL, and there was another series that I feel like I ran with y'all in another series too, but
I honestly don't remember. I don't remember you being in SXRL. Granted, it was 3 years ago at this point.
Yeah,
But I remember.
I don't think I raced. I think I actually broadcasted with Rick James, honestly.
Really?
Yeah,
Shit.
I think Rick James called some of those races. I could be wrong there, but I do know that I ran a couple of the super speedway races, and my gamer
Those
tag.
goofy ass
Oh yeah,
drafting rules.
yeah, that was wild. Like,
God.
couldn't push the pusher if you were on the outside or the inside or
No,
something. It's
yeah,
inside,
it's like
yeah.
the bottom two lanes couldn't push or something stupid like that.
Yeah, that was wild. I've never
It
seen
was so
anything like that.
stupid.
But
It was just a
I
it was just a
never.
circle jerk.
It was. I mean, everybody. I mean, every league has its unique rules, and we all don't agree with them sometimes. But that one was like, what? Like,
That
you're
was some of the stupidest things ever.
yeah, like you're telling me
And
I can't push the guy in front of me just because I'm on the bottom?
me,
Like,
Jeremy, and like all the people, like our little group would always be like, "Let them race."
mm-hmm.
Every time we go to a fucking super speedway race, because they would always vote. They'd be like, "Oh, do you want to run the drafting rules or not?" And we would all
Hell
vote
no.
to not run it. It's like you're making the race fucking stupid by doing that.
Yeah,
It's like,
you have enough to think about at a super speedway.
and now you're just like,
Yeah,
oh,
and
I can't push this guy.
yeah, and you're adding more rules. Like what? But I will never forget when Steven Oberstadt joined ARCS, and we're gonna have him on a podcast here soon. Um, I I did not realize that because I raced with Horatio Kane as a lot of people know him as on Xbox. Dude, I had no clue. Like at that time, I just thought, dude, this dude's out here. He's just fucking. He don't give a shit about nothing.
A dickhead.
Yeah, he's a fucking douche. Like, and then I get to know him, and I'm like, this dude's awesome. Like, and now I know him as Steven Oberstadt instead of Horatio Kane, and it's like, dude, it's so cool.
So weird.
It's so cool. Even with you, like I knew you before Austin Mongold, and back then, like obviously, we crossed paths a little bit here and there, and obviously, my gamer tag was ARCS RTP12 there for a long time on Xbox, and like I said, I'm sure we crossed paths, but to be sitting here doing a podcast with you now is like fucking wild, dude. It's so cool.
Yeah. Shit, I remember back in the day, fucking me and Steven used to hate each other. I had him blocked for the longest time on Discord because he would always like say shit to me and it used to piss me off. So I fucking blocked him. And then I can't remember why I unblocked him. I think we were racing. I think we were racing like SXRL or something. And he was like, "Oh, I'll help you." Like he was in there with us, like in our little party. He was like, "Oh, I'll work with you guys or something." I think that's when like we stopped hating each other as much.
Yeah.
But I remember me and Jeremy. He fucking wrecked me in the pits in this one league at Talladega. It was like, I can't remember. I think it was for the lead. He was passing me on the outside for the lead, and he just hooked it left and wrecked me to the fucking pits. I think he ended up winning too. That fucking dude. And then fucking dude, that shit with him goes all the way back to Hero Evolution, like, because me and my boy Nightfall had a super team with like Jonathan Adams on it. And he used to fucking call us cheaters all the time. He was so fucking mad that we had the super team.
What was Jonathan Adams' Xbox tag? Because
He was Thrills.
oh, yeah, that's right. You already told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't
And
remember racing him. I remember racing you. I remember racing Steven. I never
he
raced. I never raced Jeremy because he was like B-Tron or something.
it was
Tron.
NASCAR 24 Tron fan.
Okay. See, I don't remember racing him, and that's crazy. That like I remember racing you. I remember because I remember no shit, dude. I remember you coming over like oh, it wasn't fucking comms because it was fucking heat, but I guess it was like an Xbox party or I don't even know. I don't. Maybe they did Discord. I don't think they did Discord back then. I don't know. Did they? Did SXRL did do? I don't think they did Discord. Not at
I
that
think they
time.
did. I think they did do Discord.
Maybe they did, but I remember hearing your voice and I was just like, this guy.
You probably heard me in like a
is
driver's
like-
meeting or something complaining
Maybe,
about
yeah,
it.
maybe. I mean, I think we all complained about SXRL. I mean,
You probably heard me bitching because there was one time in SXRL, I think it was like Talladega, and I
yeah,
had it was like because that shit would start like Saturday night at like fucking 11 o'clock,
yeah.
and I got stuck closing at Chick-fil-A for a while because there was a like when I first started working there, I was closing every night, and then Saturdays they put me on like the mid shift, and I was like, hell yeah, come home enough time to run this race, and then fucking I used to live like not that far away from home, like from work, so I'd like you know close as fast as possible, and I think I was doing like fucking 100 miles an hour trying to make it home for the fucking race, dude. I
Oh
was
hell
hauling
yeah.
ass. And they're
God.
like, "Oh, does you wait a couple minutes?" I was like, "Yeah, fucking wait." As I was walking in my door, fucking rushing up to turn my Xbox on and shit.
Dude,
And then
this.
literally like as I was joining the lobby, they fucking like unpaused it, and I fucking missed it by like 10 seconds. I was so fucking mad.
Dude, those were the
Like it was
days when you could
mad
pause.
annoying.
You could pause lobbies to wait for people. God, we did that in ARCS too. A lot of people have stories about. So, hell, we had fucking Tommy Withers one time was like, "I'm gonna go take a shower real quick. Pause the lobby."
Oh my
Like,
god. And
like,
then you come
bro,
back and it's all fucked up and you have to
yeah,
restart it.
like,
And then
bro,
somebody else
we.
needs it to be fucking paused.
Look, we had one guy. No shit. His name was Too Good for Me on Xbox, and I think he still races on Xbox as far as I know. One time he told us to pause the lobby because his weed man was outside. No shit.
Oh, dude, I have some fucking stories about shit like that.
Oh, let's hear them. I mean, that's what this
I so
podcast is
I
about.
used to run a NASCAR 2011 league. Granted, this was like 2014. I joined this shit in like 2014, and we used to sit there, stop like because you turn caution. We would turn the cautions off and have our own cautions.
Mm.
But in that game, if somebody like flipped, you would still bring the caution out. But the league owner we would always have to stop under caution for like 10 fucking minutes because the fucking guy's weed man would come, or he would start like screaming at his fucking parents or something stupid like that. And I remember how Tony Stewart like killed that guy?
Yeah, I
I
do.
remember I can tell you exactly what I was doing when somebody told us that that happened. We were doing it was like we usually didn't race late at night, but we had like everybody on, and they were just like, cause it was like, oh, you just basically just raced whenever they wanted to. It wasn't like, you know, oh, Saturdays at 7 o'clock we're racing. It's just like you get a text throughout the day. It's like we're racing at 8 o'clock or something. It's like okay, whatever. But it was like Saturday night, late as fuck, and we were under caution at Texas, so we were stopped on the fucking backstretch. And it was like, I can't remember how many of us there were. But one of like, they called them the rednecks, which is just the people that would do nothing but fucking race Talladega all the time.
Yeah, that sounds like
They
rednecks right
joined
there.
like, I'm not even trying to be like talk down to those people, but it's like, they just called them the rednecks. And it would get like these huge lobbies of people that would just do nothing but race Talladega all the time. And they'd race for money too. But he joined the lobby. He joined the party and was like, "Oh, Tony Stewart just killed a guy." And we were like, "Huh?" And he was like, "Yeah, Tony Stewart just ran some guy over at some dirt race that he was doing and killed him." We're like, "What the fuck?" And my buddy Nightfall was like the biggest fucking like Tony Stewart fan. And that motherfucker just sat there in silence like the entire time. It was fucking
Yeah.
crazy.
Dude, it's weird because I remember where I was at too when that happened. I was in Panama City Beach, um, and I woke up the next morning and I was going through my phone and I saw just you know just all these like things about Tony Stewart ran over a kid at you know wherever. I don't even remember what the track was, but
I couldn't tell you what track he was
yeah.
at either.
But I remember, like to this day, I remember where I was. I was on the. We had a little balcony at where we were staying in Panama City, and I saw it on my phone, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, and I watched the video, and I'm like, because the videos hadn't been banned from YouTube yet, so you could still watch it,
Yeah.
and it was like, "Holy shit!"
That was back before they started like doing shit like
Yeah,
that then.
yeah, they didn't really ban stuff, but I was like, holy shit. Yeah,
Holy
Tony
shit.
Stewart literally just ran. Like, again, the kid was in an all black fire suit. It was dark. The lights, they don't have NASCAR lights at these short tracks. It's hard to see even with the lights on.
Crazy.
But yeah, he ran this dude over, and I'm like, holy shit. Tony Stewart did just run this kid over. Like, this is wild. Like,
It's funny, like that may not have like a lot of significance, but it's just like, oh, where were you on
yeah,
9/11? It's like, where the fuck
exactly.
were you when you found out Tony Stewart
Yeah,
killed a guy?
it's
It's just a fucking.
yeah, and I'm not comparing 9/11 to when Tony Stewart ran over a guy, but
It's
as
just weird that both of us just have to
yeah,
remember exactly what we were doing.
dude, I remember it to almost to the moment. Like and I feel like anybody that is NASCAR fans or motorsport fans, I feel like they probably have the exact same story. Like they know exactly where they were when they found out, like, holy shit, a dude just passed away because Tony Stewart, was
Just fucking him.
yeah, I mean Tony Stewart is
Fucking
Tony
crazy.
Stewart, like, and now he's a NHRA team owner and whatever. I mean, that's cool. But I feel like, so do you feel like that's why Stewart Haas Racing is struggling as much as they are? I mean, I wouldn't say struggling. I mean, they've had some good finishes, but Tony Stewart is. I feel like he's more focused on his drag racing team than he is his NASCAR team. Do you agree with that?
I'm sure it plays like a role in it, but I mean, they really started struggling back in like 2021, because I guess like 2019, 2020, they were doing something with like the rear wheel wells,
Hmm.
and then NASCAR like changed the rule about that. So, and then, it's the last year before the new car, so just like, well, fuck, we're just gonna kind of ride it out. I mean, Harvick didn't seem to have too many problems. He still finished fifth in points.
Yeah. I mean, he was
He,
he was the shining star of Stuart Haas. That's what they're missing now. I mean,
yeah, like he was the one that was like consistently good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had Kurt Busch that had like he was good. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like there was just some times where he would struggle. And Clint Boyer, like I liked Clint, but I just didn't think he was really like he was just past his prime, really.
Yeah, I mean he should have been in the booth 2 years before he went to the booth. I mean,
Yeah.
Clint Boyer's just
And then
washed. I mean,
Almirola like could have won a couple like a few more races, but he just kind of got hosed, especially 2018.
yeah,
Fuck, dude, I missed 2018. That was a fucking dream team right there.
it was. Yeah, it really
It's like
was.
Harvick was smoking people every week. Kurt was doing really good. Almirola could have won probably like 6 races. It's just like I could look back at every single race on that schedule and say, "Oh yeah, could should have won this one, should have won that one."
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we weren't as good here, but we still ran like good as a whole. Should have fucking won that one. It's like, fuck, dude.
I mean,
God, that was so good that year.
they still have moments. Like Noah Gregson's had some pretty good finishes. I mean, honestly,
Josh Berry's been good on the short track.
he has been, and I mean, honestly, if you would have told me Noah Gregson would have finished, what did he finish, like fourth at Talladega or something, and
It was
or
third.
third, yeah, like I
I think
mean,
he finished like fifth or sixth last week.
yeah, I mean, he did they had some really good strategy last week. I mean, and Noah Gregson, I mean, he went from being honestly at a kind of shitty team, to be honest, and then
Yeah.
unemployed, and now he's at Stewart Haas, and he's kind of, I mean, in my opinion, he's a front runner as the best at Stewart Haas. I mean, Ryan Preece is, he's had some races where he's been strong, but he's just not
Yeah,
had the
just never
luck.
seem to. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just never seem to be able to close it out.
And then Josh Berry's
But
the
still,
same way. I mean, he has some good finishes, but then in the next week you see him and he's running 31st, and it's like, what the hell? Like, what? And I feel like that goes for all Ford. Like, Ryan Blaney's really the only one that's been consistent in a Ford this year. Like,
yeah.
all Fords have just struggled. I don't know.
Uh,
You know, yeah, I mean, I feel like, can you blame it on the new dark horse? Maybe, but like, did it really change
It
that
just seems
much?
like
Like,
Fords as a whole, the last like couple years, just have not been as good as like Chevy or Toyota. It's just they always seem to be one step behind.
yeah, I
And then
mean,
they somehow lucked into 2 fucking championships.
yeah, they did. I mean, they've won the past two with Joey and Ryan. I
Yeah.
mean, but I mean, this year it's been the Hendrick
It's been fucking
Motorsports and Joe Gibbs
terrible.
Racing show. Like,
They haven't even won a race like across
yeah,
the top three series in general. It's crazy.
it is. But I mean, in Xfinity, you don't have a whole lot of Fords. I mean, you have
Yeah,
what,
that's true.
Riley Herbst and Ryan Sieg is really
You have
your
the
own.
two Stuart Haas cars and then Ryan Seed.
Yeah,
Like
Cole
are the
Custer.
three
Yeah,
ones
I
that
forgot about him. Yeah.
those are the three ones that even really fucking matter.
Yeah, and Haley Deegan, but I mean, she can't finish better than fucking 22nd. So I was pulling for her though at Talladega. She was, man, she restarted in fourth, and she just, you could see her inexperience because she, man, she just, Riley Herbst was just like, hey, fuck you. I know you're in a Ford, but I don't care. I'm going to go around you, and I'm going to kill your run. I'm going to kill my run, so no Fords are going to win this race. And I'm like, come on, Riley. Like, at least push her. Like, come on, dude. Like, my God.
I
Anyway.
remember when they announced that Riley Herbst was going to the 98 car in the Xfinity Series. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This bum? But I have been pleasantly surprised with how he's been the last like year and a half. Like
Yeah.
he's really come on strong. He doesn't have the finishes to back it up a lot, which sucks, but it's just the way it goes, I guess. I mean, he could have won Texas.
Yep.
Cole Custer could have won Dover last week, but I mean,
Yeah, the Fords have just they've been there, but they just haven't quite been able to capture the finishes I feel like they deserve. I mean, I feel like Blaney has been fast all year. He just hasn't. I mean, what was it at last week? Where were they at? Dover.
yeah.
He qualified second. He's up front all fucking race, and then
It was like the only Ford that was in the top 10 all race.
he gets a speeding penalty, and it's like, Jesus Christ, dude! Like, come on, like,
Is that what happened? I don't
yeah,
even
yeah,
fucking remember what happened in that race.
yeah. He got a speeding penalty. I don't know if it was entering or exiting, but he had to come back down, and then he was in the back, and I mean, it was over from there. I mean, you can't pass with these cars, so. When he started second, I was like, hell yeah, he's going to be good because you can't pass in these next gen cars. But then he fucked it up with the penalty. So
I know my share of struggles at Dover as a Harvick fan,
yeah,
mainly from 2014 on. I remember going to that. Because I lived in Maryland at the time. I went to the spring race at Dover in 2014 with my dad for my birthday. And it was going to be between Harvick and Jimmy Johnson. Like, those two had the two best cars, and of course, Harvick blew a tire
yep.
and finished. I think he finished like a lap down or something because of it. And then go back in the fall. Really fast car. Blows another fucking tire. And then I think he got screwed in the spring race in 15. I can't remember. And then
So
16, I don't remember those races enough. Same with 17.
so you said you lived in Maryland. How the hell did you go from Maryland to Florida?
Well, okay, so I'm from Virginia. I lived in Virginia until I was going in 7th grade. I moved in with my dad. Because, divorced parents.
Hey, yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah. But I moved in with my dad because he lives in Maryland. I lived there for about a year. And after I moved with my dad, my mom and the rest of my family was like, "Oh, let's move to Florida." So they moved to Florida, and after a year, I was like, "Hey, like I don't really, it's not you. Like I don't really like living up here."
Mm-hmm.
So I moved back in with my mom and the rest of my family. So now I live in Florida.
So you live with your mom now?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So you got a new job over there at Take 5. You still over there at Take 5?
Yeah.
Yeah. For now.
Yeah, for now.
Hey man, whatever pays the bills, that's all that matters.
Yep.
All right, so one of the questions that I always ask anybody that comes on the podcast, and I'm always curious to know the answer. It's a two-part question. Who is one of your least favorite people in ARCS to race around, and who is your most favorite person to race around? It can be, if you have a couple people that you dislike or a couple people that you enjoy racing around, it can be more than one, but who's your least and most favorite to race around in ARCS?
Well, I can give you probably like one of my more favorite people to race around. I like racing around Feimster because it seemed, well, I mean, besides that one incident at Atlanta, and maybe one incident at Watkins Glen and SNS, uh, like, it's usually pretty fun racing against him. But, fuck, dude. Oh, man.
I
You're
gotta
really
put.
gonna put me on the spot like that
Oh
with
yeah,
the least
that's
favorite?
yep. That's what I do here.
I don't know. It seems to fucking change every week. Every week somebody does something that tops the other thing that somebody did the week before in the stupidity ranking.
Mhm.
Fuck. Trying to think of specific incidents off the top of my head. Oh man. I
Thrills
can't.
Thrills said that in the chat that he doesn't that you don't like racing around him because it always gets you involved in wrecks.
I get involved in wrecks regardless of where the fuck
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
at.
Thrills don't feel
You know,
special,
but
okay? Mongold gets involved in all the wrecks, okay? You got to have one person. I mean, mine's Daniel Michelle, Tyler Patterson in the 27. Those two, I can't stand racing with them. Tyler Patterson doesn't race with us anymore, so that's where the fuck the 27 came from.
oh, I thought it was because of Jack Moki.
No, Jack Moki actually has reinstated the 27 as a person that I would probably work with. I mean, I like Jack Moki. Tyler Patterson is the origin of the fuck the 27. That Tyler Patterson ran an A squared. That's where fuck the 27 came from. Has nothing to do with Jack Mulkey. I love Jack Mulkey, and I actually pushed him to the lead at Talladega in an A squared race a few weeks back when we ran Talladega. So, yeah.
Oh, you the reason why he almost won that stage?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what lap it was. I just
don't
know.
fucking remember anything from that race.
Yeah, I just know that I pushed 27 to the lead, and I was like, "This is." Yeah, I know. I need to quit. I need to quit while I'm ahead. So, no.
I guess.
I mean,
I guess
you gotta have
if I had to-
somebody. You gotta have somebody. Look,
I know.
I've heard you in some chats, and you've been hot a couple times. There's got to be somebody.
Oh man. Okay, if you're talking about just arcs,
Yeah, just
I don't
ARCS.
know. I guess if I had to name someone off the top of my head, I'd probably just say Alyssa, because she kind of pisses me off sometimes.
Yeah. I need to get her on this podcast too, but yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people probably agree with you there. I mean,
If I could include like HTL, whoever the guy that drives the 82 trucks in the truck series, fuck that guy. For just straight up dumping me coming to the white flag at Auto Club on Tuesday.
oh shit, who was that? I don't, dude.
And his name
there's-
is like Jaden something.
Oh,
It
Jaden
was
Bingaman. Jaden Bingaman.
Yeah, fucking wrecked me. And he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to let off of it. It just kept pulling me up in the It's like, yeah, that's what fucking happens when you go up the track like that, dude."
Yeah, that was wild. I can't.
I still came back and finished ahead of him too.
Well, good. You deserved it. I mean, I can't with those series with that series in particular. You know, I'm in the broadcast booth, so I have to watch what the producer is showing us, and
Yeah.
you know, I so I don't get to see everything. But obviously, I saw you in our chat or in our in Steven's chat. You know, pretty displeased with that individual, and
I think I posted videos. In there too.
yeah, you did, and I was like, whoa, this dude just drove through your ass. Like, I mean, there's some things that are just
And I
like,
saved it.
yeah, there's some things where
That
it's
man
like,
fucking wrecked me.
okay, you
And he
know.
had me sideways, and I was like, I fucking keyed up. I was like, you're just gonna fucking wreck me, dude? Like, mid
Yeah.
fucking wreck.
That's another thing.
And I still
So,
saved it and didn't even fucking hit anything.
yeah, you did good. I mean, when I watched that video, I was like, damn, hell yeah, Austin, he got fucking wrecked and saved it and kept on going and passed that
I think I
dude. Like,
finished about where I was when I got dumped in the first place.
mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about HTL because that's
It's the
kind
only
of
league I have luck in, apparently.
apparently so, but that's kind of one of our sister leagues, so to speak. We're gonna get Blake on here on the podcast here soon. He's going through some college stuff right now, so what wasn't able to. We had to cancel. He actually was scheduled, but we had to cancel his podcast because he wasn't available. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about HTL. I mean, you don't run the Cup Series, do you?
I wasn't planning on it, but I ended up getting a chartered ride for the season.
Oh, so awesome. Mongold Monday and Tuesday, ladies and gents. He's in HDL.
Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
There you go. Yeah, I'm in an unchartered ride for Monday night, so I have to pay a little bit of money to try and make the field, but I made Daytona. I didn't do well in Daytona, but I made it. And
You
then
did probably better than I did.
honestly, I know how I finished. I was coming to the line to finish
you got
fucking 11th, and I got DQ'd, and I finished 26th. Fucking bullshit.
I was up there, and we were coming to the white, and then Carmen came down and wrecked. I can't remember who she came down and hit, but she came down and hit somebody, and they fucking hit some other guy, and fucking started wrecking half the field, and I had it miss, and then got caught up by like this much.
Look, all I
When
can
I
say,
had like 21 out of 24 X's and got fucking DQ'd.
all I
Before
can
I even had the chance
say,
to use my fast repair. Like, come on, man.
I was the same way. I mean, all I can say is any league that uses DQ based off an incident point at a super speedway, I will disagree with you all day long, because to me that is fucking bullshit. Because
At least like have it to where you get a pass through
yeah, I agree with that.
first.
If you hit 24x, you have to serve a pass through. I agree with that 100%. But
Because
to get to 24x and DQ my ass, because 14 of those 24x's were not my fault. Like, the whole
I
field's wrecking and somebody hits me in the ass and I get a 4x, and it's like, well, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do now? Like, I don't agree with
I
it,
got
but
I got a 4X from Tommy Reynolds dumping me, and then they wrecked in front of me, and I had nowhere to go, and got another 4X from that.
mm-hmm.
And then I got a 4X from fucking getting dumped under caution. So that's what, 12?
Yeah, that's
I got 1X. I got 1X from avoiding a wreck, going
Yeah.
through the grass.
because you
I can't
have to.
remember
I
about
mean,
the other two.
if you don't go through the grass, you're gonna hit somebody. So it's like, what do you do? You know?
It,
I mean,
like, don't get me wrong, I don't mind having incident points, but honestly, like, the one, like, group of tracks, if you're gonna have them, like, not gonna have them, do not have them at super speedways.
yeah, you can't. I mean, it's just
Because it's just, you get a lot of 4X's just from, like, bad bumps and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's just stuff out of your control.
yeah, absolutely. I
At
agree.
least, at least at, mile and a half tracks, people might race better.
Mhm.
And then you're more in control of stuff like that. Because you're not bump drafting anybody, but
Yeah, I agree.
I don't get paid to make decisions like that in there.
I don't either, so that's why I just show up and try and make the field and go from there. But I mean, every league has different rules,
Different ways to
yeah,
go about it.
exactly. I
mean,
SXRL had different rules, and now they're dead. So I mean,
sort of. They came back last summer.
I mean, I love just randomly getting a notification because I'm still in that server, and
I joined it again because they ran like 8 races last summer. Actually, Thrills won a race in there.
Yeah, but
Iowa race.
I just love seeing like, just dead, and then all of a sudden somebody would be like, "Is this league dead?" And then Awesome Mongold, I see him in the chat. He types like, "Yeah, it's dead," or some stupid shit like that, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's dead." But some leagues keep going, some leagues don't. I mean, it is what it is.
Oh yeah. Why league dead? Me, not sure. Why are you lurking a dead Discord? What the fuck, man? Go to work.
Hey, he works at Take 5 now. He's look, okay. So here's another thing we got to talk about. And this might be rated R, but that's okay cuz here we are, and this is not made for kids. What's your deal with the Sydney Sweeney obsession?
I just think she's hot.
But there's got to be more to it. What? I mean, what?
I don't know. I don't know.
Look, you gotta say the line. You gotta say the line.
She's got nice boobs.
No, that ain't your line.
That
ain't your line. She's got honking. What do you say? She got honk.
Oh, she's got honking ass titties.
Yeah, that's it.
She has a pretty face and she has a pretty voice.
Look, I feel like Dustin Painter the
one
other.
of those voices where it's like you're at work, the phone's ringing, you pick up the phone, and then they start asking questions, and then you get off the phone, and then you walk up to your coworker, and it's like, damn, that woman that just called sounded like she was pretty hot. And then you see her driving up in her car, driving around the front like they always do, and then they drive around the back, and they're just like, yep, I fucking knew it. I knew she was hot just by the way she sounded on the phone.
Hey, if you can tell that, then shout out to you. But Cody says if you bump into her at a bar, what are you saying to her to seal the deal? You see Sydney Sweeney in the bar. What are you saying to her?
No.
Would you like these 23 flavors of Dr. Pepper?
I don't know. Fuck.
See, that's where you got to prep, man. You got to be ready. You got to be ready on the fly if she walks in the door. I mean, you live in Florida. She might be there for a vacation. You never know.
Not to this part of Florida.
Well, yeah, you live in bumfuck Florida, but if you
not exactly.
Yeah, I don't even know where you live. You didn't tell us
Tampa.
in your it.
Well, it's technically Wesley Chapel. But
Well, shit.
Tampa.
Okay, well then, yeah, you're not in bumfuck Florida. You ever go to Busch Gardens? Isn't that in Tampa?
Yeah. The last time I went there, I got a concussion.
Oh, damn. You rode that roller coaster a little too hard, huh?
No, I hit my head on the doorway.
Oh, shit. It was a doorway for missions.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So, you go to Busch Gardens, and it's basically like a fucking zoo with amusement park rides, because it's like African themed, for those of you who don't know. And you go where they have the tigers. They have to place the big windows. But if you go around the back, there's this like place. I guess it's more for like kids, because you have to, like, for me, you have to crouch down to go into it.
You gotta take a breathalyzer before you go in there.
And I guess the way like there's this little like tunnel you go into for like the kids, and then I guess we went in where you're supposed to come out, and it was like okay, normal. Like it was just like the cave, the fake rocks and shit, and wearing a hat, crouching down. I was kind of looking like towards the floor, walking pretty fast, walking through. But when you go in, the doorway hangs lower than the fucking roof. So I didn't see it. Fucking smacked my head on the doorway. And I fucking, like, I guess I hit it so hard I gave myself a fucking concussion. Which, I already had one before, which may or may not play into that, but that was fucking. Was that.
Hell, you don't remember you got. Hell, you don't remember you got a concussion. Yeah.
This was like the day after Christmas of 2021. And the first concussion I got was like 2008, something like that.
Well, where did your first concussion come from? Did you play football or?
No, I fell on my driveway and hit my head on the concrete.
Oh man, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so but I guess I hit my head hard enough to give me another one.
Man.
That sucked, because that was when I was working I had like just started working my paving job. And the paving season here is year round, but
yeah, because it's like, Florida. I mean, it never gets cold.
From like December 23rd to like January 2nd, there's like the holiday break, so I had like a week and a half off work because of that. And it was literally like I still had like a week left of that break, and I fucking gave myself a concussion, so I just spent the rest of my break fucking just sitting there in my room with the worst headache imaginable for the next fucking 4 days. I was like, are you kidding me, dude? I had all these grand plans. I was gonna go look at fucking trains. And like a couple of spots I had scoped out. And it's just like, you fucking ruined my plans like that.
Damn. Ruined them. Busch Gardens. Why didn't you sue them?
I mean, it's my fault.
Yeah, but that's not how the lawyers are gonna look at it. I mean.
And I was with like some of my former coworkers, that became my coworkers again from Chick-fil-A, and it's just like fuck. And I'm sitting there, and it was one of those things where it happened like in the middle of us being there at Busch Gardens. So I'm just sitting there like, fuck, dude, I'm nauseous as hell right now. My head's killing me. So I'm just like fucking standing there, getting all like lightheaded and fucking dizzy. And they're like, oh, let's go ride this ride. And to me, I'm already not a fan of roller coasters, so it's like, yeah, you guys go do that without me.
Yeah.
And
Dude.
then on top of that, give me a concussion. It's like, fuck that shit, I want to go home.
Yeah, dude, the only reason we went to Busch Gardens when I was a kid is because they had the Busch, the Budweiser Busch beer thing there. And my dad, for anybody that knows my dad, Cody in the chat, he knows my dad. Busch Light is his beer of choice. So my dad took us to Busch Gardens not because of the animals, not because of the rides, but because
for the beer.
They brewed Busch Light right off the damn tap down there. And that's the only reason I got to experience Busch Gardens as a kid, because my dad loved Busch Light. So
I've been to the other Busch Gardens too, the one in Williamsburg.
I didn't know there was two of them.
Cool. I think there's a few of them. That's just the only two I know of.
Yeah, I had no idea. That's crazy. I just thought it was the one in Florida. So. Thrill says he wants a celebratory Dr. Pepper shotgun before the podcast ends. So I know you said you stocked up, so it didn't look like you were drinking Dr. Pepper earlier. It looked like a Mountain Dew. What?
Yeah, it
You,
is a Mountain Dew.
I
The
thought that was a
Baja
Mount.
Blast.
Yeah, hey, that's a good one.
But
It
it's
really
empty.
is.
It's empty.
Well, you got to get another one. I got to get another beer. Why don't we take a little break here? I'm gonna piss too, but I'm gonna mute myself so nobody can hear me. We'll meet back up here in about 30-40 seconds, and you go get you another Dr. Pepper / Mountain Dew, and I'll get me another beer, and we'll get this thing back going.
All right.
All right. All right. What were we talking about? I don't remember. Your memory's better than me. You got a Dr. Pepper?
Gardens.
Oh, you got another Mountain
I
Dew.
know you're Mountain Dew. I don't
Bro,
have any peppers in the fridge.
bro, you are just destroying your self-image right here in front of the whole podcast. Look, even Brendan Fetterplace is saying you're a traitor. All right, this is ridiculous. You said you were gonna stock up on Mountain Dew. I mean, fuck Mountain Dew, Dr.
Yeah,
Peppers, but you
I put the
didn't.
Mountain Dews in the fridge instead because I forgot to put the Dr. Peppers in there.
Look, this is a decision that will never live you down.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll never hear the fucking end of this.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
You're wearing a Dr. Pepper hat, and
I
you're
would've
drinking.
worn my Dr. Pepper shirt, but I couldn't find it.
Look, even Bryn Roberts said in the chat, his
I
whole
just
life,
have my
his
I
whole
just have
life,
my Aussie Oak shirt that Steven gave me.
his whole life is a lie because you're drinking Mountain Dew as a Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper. I mean, I thought this whole podcast was going to just be Dr. Pepper. I thought Dr. Pepper was going to sponsor this podcast, actually, and now I have to rethink
Well,
my whole life.
they would sponsor the second Daytona race in A squared, but apparently that's not allowed.
Yeah, take that up with Kent. I don't know. We might get sued. I've already been sued once, so I don't want to get sued another time. So, yeah, I'm not touching that. Not with a 30-foot pole. But so I don't have the stats pulled up right now. So, do you have it? And I should know this because I'm the owner. I'm the president, but I don't. Do you have any ARCS wins? And if you do, what's your favorite?
I don't have any ARCS wins. Yeah, no, man.
Okay, but you have an HTL win, right?
Two. I have two.
Two.
I have a truck win and a national series win.
So what's your favorite of those two? What's your favorite win?
Fuck, dude. I would say probably the truck win that I got at Atlanta. Just because that's the first racing league race that I won. And it was a bigger field than the national series race.
Yeah.
Granted, the national race was pretty fun too.
Yeah, I feel like the National Series, you won that shit straight up on strategy. I mean, that's always
Yeah,
cool.
what was it? I think it was 150 laps at Bristol,
Bristol, yep.
and I think I pit on like lap 100 or something, and then just stayed out and
Hmm.
saved my tires enough to. I can't remember who I was racing, but I beat somebody. I think I had like a 2 second lead before that last caution came out. I was
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, I'm toast.
So no ARCS wins, man. Where do you think? Where's the best chance? I mean, I know you sometimes dabble in TNT. You run SNS. SNS this week is at Atlanta. That's a good shot. Where's
Yep.
your best chance? You think
Um,
to get that first ARCS win, man? That's a that's a big monkey on your back there.
yeah, I got close a couple times in Ignition last season.
Hmm.
Iowa, I was good at Iowa. Got the pole there after literally like 30 seconds left. I stole the pole from Patrick Obistat, not Patrick Allen Jr.
Hmm.
And I can't remember how many laps I led. I led like a bunch of laps though, but finished fucking second to Cody, and then I finished second at Nashville in Ignition to fuck. It was either like Briley or Toby, one of those people. Whoever was driving the 29 last year in Ignition.
Yes, it could have been Bradley or Toby. I think they both
I
kind
don't
of.
know. It was a payday car. That's the only
Yeah,
thing I remember from that.
probably Bradley.
And then I got second in OST at Nashville Fairgrounds the first season that they ran it because the entire field wrecked off of me.
Hmm.
Those are really like the only time I even came close to winning a race in here.
So how many starts do you have? Because again, I can't bring up my spreadsheet.
I can pull up the stats real quick.
Yeah. So how many starts do you have with 0 wins? Because we all before everybody knows Cody Riggs. He had the most starts in ARCS with no wins, and he finally got that win in TNT this year.
Oh yeah.
What's your starts looking like? Are
I'm
you?
at 88 starts, one pole,
Oh man.
14 top fives, and 38 top tens.
But 0 wins.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh man. So you might be. I think Kevin Feemster is ahead of you. I think Feemster has more
No,
starts.
there's somebody up here has no wins.
You let me know who that
Yeah, Mark
is.
Dila has none.
Yeah,
He's
Mark
at
Dealer.
128.
I think Feemster's above him. I think if you keep scrolling, I think.
Yeah. Uh. No, Feemster actually has 3 less starts than Dila does.
Okay, so Mark Dila and Kevin Feemster, and you are right on their tail for most starts in ARCS with no wins. It's not a great stat to have, but
Yeah, even Jack Mulkey has 2 wins. Like, how they let that man win 2 wins?
SKD had some bullshit fucking
Yeah, of
sport car
course.
series or some shit. I don't.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, ARCS has never really been the best league around, but we do what we can. But I mean, I don't know if you answered it or not. You might have, but what's your
It sure as hell ain't coming in A². I'll tell you that right now.
dude? Fuck if
I had the worst luck in there, man.
dude, if I finish 17th in A², I'm happy. I'm going home like happy as hell. But yeah, I finished 17th. Hell yeah. I mean, that competition is wild.
I've
But
had, like, it's not even because I suck. Like, I can finish, like, top 10, top 15, depending on the
yeah.
track. It's just, I just have the worst luck. Like, the only race where I haven't gotten caught up in some something stupid happening was Pocono. I think I finished 5th in that race.
Yeah,
Like, I can run good if I don't get caught up in stuff, but most of the time I get caught up in stuff.
you've showed some speed for sure. I mean,
I was running good at Dover, got
yep.
wrecked there.
So what's your best chance? I mean, that was kind of my question. What when you
Um,
look at the schedule, obviously SNS Atlanta this week, A squared will be in Atlanta in several weeks. We got New Hampshire this week, then we're off for Mother's Day, then we go to Atlanta. What's your best chance? You know, where can I push you?
I
Cuz
would
I pushed Cody
say,
Riggs to his first win. I'll push you to your first win too.
honestly, I would say probably one of the drafting tracks, just because there's too many good people in here
Yeah.
for me to win an actual race.
Yeah. Same.
And I don't run like, I mean, I run OST, but I don't run like the short track stuff or SRX
Mhm.
enough to win a race in there. But I mean, I really the only series I show up for on a regular basis now is SNS and A squared.
So you
I
think
mean, I show up the
you think you got a
I show up
shot
the
Saturday night at Atlanta?
I like to think I do, but
I mean, those Gen 6 cars are badass at Atlanta, the new Atlanta. That's going to be fun. I think you got
those
a
cars are
shot.
fun. It sucks that the HDR National Series shut down because I felt like that would have been really fun.
Yeah,
But
agreed.
those cars are fucking fun as shit to drive.
They are. All
At,
right,
they're good, really fun at the right tracks.
for sure. Kent has a question for you. Will you make the playoffs in A squared? You're 46 points out right now for the
Uh,
playoff line. And I'm right there with you, bud. I think I'm like 20th in points. I'm like 20. Fuck, I don't know. I'm too many points out. But do we have a shot? Do me and you have a shot to make it to the playoffs?
I would have a much better shot if I actually got stage points. I don't get
Yeah,
fucking none of those there.
I don't either.
I'll run, dude. I'll run like top 10, and then head to pit during the stage, and then people take fucking tires or take whatever, whatever the opposite I do, they don't,
Hmm.
and then it's like fuck, 11th, 12th in stage. It's like shit. I was about to pass Seth for stage points at Charlotte, and the fucking caution came out.
Yeah,
It's like fuck, man.
I
It's like I'm always right there. It's just stupid.
I
I
feel the
think I was
same
gonna get
way.
stage points at Dover, but I decided to what the fuck it was it word? Flip the stage. Yeah, I went to flip
Yeah,
the stage for stage 3.
yeah.
Uh,
I've done that a couple times, and yeah, I get an 8th place finish, but I don't get any stage points, and I don't gain anything. So
I did that at Pocono.
yeah, I
That's
can.
what got me track position is cause I fucking wrecked lap 1. Had to take my fast repair, so I was like, oh shit. And then there was a caution. So I took tires, and I was like, I'll just fucking putt around for the next like 3 laps or something. No. I was the only one that was smart enough to pit before the end of the stage,
Yep.
and I was the only one that stayed out. So those are like the only laps I've led this season in A squares, fucking under caution at Pocono.
Hey, I led some laps at Charlotte. It didn't end well for me, but hell, I led some laps. That's all that matters. So, man, I'm trying to think about if there's any other questions. Oh, well, let me look at my phone, make sure I didn't miss any. I'm still disappointed that you're not drinking fucking Dr. Pepper. That's just. We talked a little about your. Well, did you really give a least favorite person to race around? I feel like you danced around
I
that
said
question.
Alyssa.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. All
Alyssa's
right,
probably
yeah,
like my definitive.
that's fair. That's fair.
Although I would say Boss is on my shit list for wrecking me at Gateway.
Well, yeah, Boss is
For
yeah.
now, at least.
Boss is on my team, and he's whew, yeah, he can be in the way sometimes. I love Boss to death. I know he probably doesn't watch these podcasts, but Jesus Christ, sometimes he's in the way. Fetter Place actually had a question. If Kevin Harvick drove full time for Hendrick Motorsports, would you still be a fan of Harvick or no? I know this probably would never happen, but we're just, theoretically, if that happened, would you still be a Kevin Harvick fan if he jumped in that number 5 car full time? What would you do, bud?
I would probably still be a fan, but I would probably just that would probably be the only cause I mean I was a Harvick fan, and I liked his teammates everywhere else except for Danica. She fucking sucked. But
Well, yeah, we all know that.
if the news came out right now that Harvick was gonna drive the 48 car, because Alex Bowman sucks.
Yeah, true.
I would probably only be a Harvick fan. I wouldn't even bother trying to be fans of the rest of the team.
I agree. I agree with that because, to me, obviously, my shirt, Ryan Blaney, flag, Ryan Blaney. I've driven the 12 car for 3 years now in iRacing. If Ryan Blaney left and went to Hendrick or for God forbid went to fucking Gibbs, in a Toyota, I'm still gonna be a Ryan Blaney fan. I love Ryan Blaney. He's my driver. I wouldn't be happy with him in a Toyota, but I would still be like, hell yeah, go win this race. It's such a weird in between of you love your driver, but I also love Ford. So it's
yeah,
what do I do? But there's one question I want to ask you that John Hagan brought up. If you had a choice, and there's a couple more in the chat that we'll get to here, and then we'll get this thing wrapped up here pretty quick. I know I don't want to keep you too late, but John Hagan said if you had to choose between Sydney Sweeney and Dr. Pepper, what would your choice be?
Probably Dr. Pepper, because you don't have to worry about.
Bro, you are wild.
You don't have to worry about that, wanting to leave you after a while.
You got a point, I guess. I can't.
It's shit, I could pick fucking Sydney Sweeney. It's as nice as that would be. It's fucking 2 weeks down the line, she's like, oh, I want a divorce. It's thanks for nothing, bitch.
You're not wrong there, I guess. All right, Bryn Roberts wants to talk about the shirtless Carl Edwards photos you posted. I don't know what chat that was, but what's that? Was that really Carl Edwards' body? I say no,
yeah.
But no, bullshit. That was Photoshop. You can't tell me anything else.
Nah, dude, that man was fucking ripped.
I know he was in good shape, but that dude that dude didn't look like that. Come on now.
Well, this was fucking 20 years ago. That's back when he was young.
Yeah, but his face wasn't. His face was current, and the body looked like somebody from Google Images when you type 6-pack abs. I don't think that was real. I'm just gonna say that now. And
I can see why he was in that romance novel.
Yeah, you said that. Hey, you like Carl Edwards, I like Casey Kane and Ryan Blaney, so we all have our, little I don't even know if I can finish that sentence without getting canceled, so I'm just not going to. So, yeah, Brent said your response about you creaming yourself had him dying laughing. So it looks like you've gotten some fans. So tell us a little bit about that. I mean, look, man. I mean, me and you 1v1. You know, I've never really gotten to talk to you. You know, just me and you. I mean, that's what I love about this podcast. I've said it 1,000 times. You know, I don't get the chance to talk to people, just me and them, very often. You know, it's either, okay, the driver's meeting's starting, or, you know, after a race when everybody's pissed off at each other. That's what I love about this podcast. I mean, I you know, I've seen you on camera once before. I think you came in with me and Feemster on an Unfiltered Dirty Air podcast one time, and you know, you helped us out there. But man, it's so cool to be able to talk to you, and I really do enjoy this podcast. I mean, a lot of people think, you know, oh, this guy's just doing this shit, just, you know, but I loved it. I mean, I love hearing your stories, even going back to, like you said, I mean, NASCAR Heat, even before NASCAR Heat 4 when you were racing. I mean,
Yeah.
this shit is just so cool, man, and I really do appreciate you being a part of it. It's a lot of fun, and I've enjoyed getting to know you.
Yeah, it's fun, like, being able to share stories and expand on the lore a little bit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, you know, because, you know, come in and it's like, oh, I know Steven and Jeremy already. And then Jonathan Adams came in, like, right with me. And it's just like, you know, it's fun to be able to share, like, the background a little bit. Because, you know, people,
sure.
like, I mean, I talk to people, like, a decent amount in here, but, you know, some people might not know certain things just because I don't talk to them enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you, like, I mean, talk to you, but not, like, on a regular basis, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's cool is, like, I have talked to you, you know, in group chats, and, you know, a lot of people being around. And I mean, honestly, you're probably, I'll put this out there, you're the one that's in the sports bar probably more than anyone that I've ever seen. I mean, you're in there. I mean, I'll be at work sometimes at like 11:30, and I'm sitting on the toilet fucking, you know, shitting out, you know, last night's dinner, and I look at Discord and I'm like, fuck, Austin Mongold's in the damn chat by himself. Like, you know, most people don't do that, but you do. And you stream your games, you stream your train simulator, your American truck simulator. And, you know, me personally, I just want to thank you for that, because, you know, whether anybody comes in and watches it or not, it's cool to just have people active, you know. And that's, you know, me and Tom Sears as the two owners of ARCS now, that, you know, we're really the two that are trying to make this thing go in the right direction. To have someone like you that's there, you know, broadcasting their, you know, whatever they're playing or whatever they're doing, it means a lot to me, because whether or not anybody tunes in or not, you're there saying, hey, I'm playing this game. If y'all want to come watch me, come watch me. If not, who cares? You know, I'm just having a good time, and that's cool to me. I mean, that means a lot to me, so I appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah. I just do it because I'm fucking bored. I just go in there and hope that, oh, somebody's like off work or something, and they see me in there. It's like, oh, I'm gonna jump in there and see what he's up to. You know? Because, like, I get days off in the middle of the fucking week sometimes. It's just like, well, shit, I'm fucking bored. So it's like, might as well hope that somebody will come in there and fucking talk to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the fact that you come to ARCS first, bro. That's cool to me. I mean, I try and get I try and watch your dude. I love your train simulator stuff. I have American Truck Simulator, so I kind of know like when you're playing that. I have that game. I don't have Train Simulator. I would love to get it. I don't have a whole lot of room left on my computer, so I can't really get new games.
Yeah.
But I love
In the same
watching.
boat.
I love watching the Train Simulator. That shit's. I love any simulation game, man. Just whether it's Truck Simulator, fucking iRacing, it doesn't matter. I love simulation games. They're just so cool. So, what's your favorite game? Like, I mean, obviously you love racing, but what is like your top? I've seen you play. Even before this podcast started, you were playing Grand Theft Auto. You were playing, some Fallout. What's your favorite? What's your go-to favorite game right now? Just when you get off work or you have a day off, what's the game that you're going to just to have fun and just to relieve some stress?
I don't know. It depends. Like, I mean, it varies. I mean, I play Helldivers 2 sometimes.
Yeah.
I haven't really played it that much recently, but I've been like, I watched the Fallout show because
Hmm.
I'm a huge fan of the games. So I watched the show, and I've been playing New Vegas a lot recently, and I
And
went back and played and beat Vice City actually for the first time. I never ended up beating that game.
I was gonna say for the fans at home, you don't play fuck, I'm drunk. Grand Theft Auto 5. You play like old school Grand Theft Auto. That's
Yeah,
cool. Like Vice City, you were playing what
I was playing San
San
Andreas earlier.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, "Damn, he's not even playing the new one. He's playing like two fucking dimensions ago." Like,
And I was playing GTA 4 for a while that one time.
yep, I remember that too. That's cool, man. I mean, we look at the end of the day, we all have jobs, we all go to work, we all come home, and we have to have something to do. Something to relieve our stress. Me and Cody talked a little bit about everybody deals with, you know, personal problems, anxiety, depression. I mean, I don't know if you deal with any of that stuff. I'm sure you do. You're younger than me, so it's probably worse for you than it is for me. I mean, how do you deal with, that anxiety or maybe you don't have anxiety. I know I do. On a daily basis, I have sometimes where I have 2 or 3 days where I'm just depressed and all I can do is get up out of bed to go piss. I mean, what do you do to help yourself? Not saying that you deal with that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe you want to talk about it, maybe you don't. But when you're in a tough spot, what do you do to help bring yourself out of that spot? To say, hey, I know I'm feeling bad, but I'm going to do this to try and make myself feel a little bit better.
Usually, like, if I'm running, like, sometimes I'll race like a fucking iRacing league race, and it's just like, oh, that really pissed me off because I thought that I was gonna be good here. I thought that was gonna go differently. And it's just like, well, I'm gonna play some fucking truck sim and listen to the radio and just basically just fucking drive.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's, to me, helps calm me down. Same with playing like Minecraft. I'll play Minecraft and listen to calming music and stuff like that. not stuff where it's like really competitive, because it just like helps like calm me down, especially playing Minecraft, because playing Minecraft late at night, listening to fucking, what is it, like lo-fi, hip-hop, whatever they call that genre of music,
Mm-hmm.
as if I talk to like, some of my boys from back in like, the fucking 2011 days, just like, man, remember like racing back in the day, and then it's like this happened or this happened or whatnot. It's just like, man, that shit was fun. And you just start
Mm-hmm.
like reminiscing on the old days, and it's just like, shit, like that was fun. Like,
Mm-hmm. Man,
I mean, it probably reminiscing on the like the glory days, as people would call it, probably doesn't
yeah.
help everybody, but for me, it's just like it is, it helps me realize it's just like, maybe stuff may not seem like, it was all that good as it's happening, but then, you're just like, damn, I probably had a lot better of a time than I thought I was having. Like school. I fucking hated school when I was in school. But I've been out of high school for fucking 5 years now. It's just like, damn, I was really having the fucking time of my life there.
Yep. For
It's
sure.
like, I would fucking give anything to have it back.
Yeah, and a lot of people are that way. I mean, that's you're in high school and you think, God, I hate this shit.
It's like, man, I
Te-
can't wait to get out
yeah,
here. It's gonna be so nice.
yeah,
Can't wait to have my freedom, shit
yeah,
like
like
that.
tests and
And then,
fucking pop
and then
quizzes. Yeah,
you get out, and you're just like, man, this sucks.
dude, I'll never forget. I mean, I had a lot of friends in high school, and once we graduated, dude, I haven't seen or heard from 99% of the people that I was best friends with in high school. I've never even, I haven't even talked to them since then. Like, it's a huge transition for sure. I mean, and you're younger than I
Yeah.
am. I'm 32. I'll be 33 this November. So you're a lot younger than me, but 10 years younger than me, honestly, at this point. But I was in the same position as you were. I mean, I graduated high school. I was like, oh yeah, all my friends and buddies, we're gonna go to college together. We're gonna fucking
Drink
have,
beer
yeah,
and
we're gonna
shit
have,
like that.
yeah, we're gonna have parties together. And then I never heard from any of them, and it was like, oh damn, well, shit, what do I do now? And it's like,
Yeah.
well, I gotta go out and
Like, there's a
get a
couple
job.
people. I mean, one guy went and joined the Marines, and he got out in like July.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like, oh, can't go hang with him.
Yep.
And then it's just, I used to hang out with a couple people from high school, and we used to go and fucking climb fucking buildings and shit.
Oh hell yeah,
Dude,
Spider-Man
oh
shit.
my god, we fucking. So they built this like Pizza Hut. You know how they build like the little buildings where it's like three or four like shops, like a nail salon,
Yeah.
fucking
Yep.
like Pizza Hut. They built one of those close to Walmart, and me and my friends. Fucking hope this doesn't get me arrested for talking about this.
Nah, this is nobody's watching
We
this, so you're fine.
fucking went and you go. It was like late at night. This was like before COVID.
Yeah, don't
So
give out the address, but just keep going with your story.
we went behind Walmart, and those like fucking plastic milk crates.
Yeah.
We took a couple of those. My friends were like, "Oh, let's grab a couple of these and throw it on the roof of like some building." And we went to that fucking like it's like a Pizza Hut, Starbucks, salon, something stupid. I don't know. And we had already been on like the roof of some buildings before this. So this was like right when we started doing it. And you know how like you see a ladder on the outside of a building, it has this like big
Mm-hmm.
metal plate on it
Yep.
to prevent people from going up there.
Mm-hmm.
But we found a way to like
Get around it.
yeah, get around it. And they took the fucking milk crates and just fucking yeeted them on the fucking roof. And I was like, let's go up there and get them. And so we went up there, and as those people inside like the fucking Pizza Hut, and there's no way they didn't catch us on fucking cameras, anything. Granted, it was dark, so they probably didn't see our faces that well. But we went up
Yeah.
there, and there was this big plastic bucket. I don't even know what the fuck it is, or it was. But I was like, let's take this, throw this fucking bucket off the roof. Because why the fuck not? So my friends are like, oh, I'll go down there and record you. So I took the fucking bucket, heavy as shit, and fucking launched it off the roof onto the fucking asphalt. Dude, it fucked up the asphalt so bad. They had to seal coat over the
Yeah.
fucking patch.
They had to call you to fucking fix it, huh?
That was years before I started doing that.
Mm.
And it's still there. That patch where they seal coated it has worn off, and you can still see. I don't know if it's like glue or like paint or something like that. Fucking degenerates, dude. We
That's
fucking
you.
Go.
That's you.
Yep. We climbed a fucking cell tower once.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I've never climbed a cell
else?
tower, but
What else have we done? We just go on the top of fucking buildings and shit. I mean, we don't do that anymore. We haven't done that in a while because they got like respectable jobs because they're both firefighters now.
yeah, I mean, and you're 23 now, so I mean, you got
Yeah, so it's just like
to be a little smarter with your
Yeah.
decisions.
we haven't done that in a while. It's been probably years.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll close out. I'll close out with this last question. What's your favorite NASCAR NASCAR race? Just overall, favorite NASCAR race. If
Dude.
I know you're a huge NASCAR fan, I'm a huge NASCAR fan. What's your favorite NASCAR race? As you sip that green Dr. Pepper.
Oh man, that's tough. That's tough. I've seen a lot of fucking races.
Well, hold on. I'll change it. I'll make it a little bit easier for you. What's the best race you've been to in person?
Ooh, in person?
Mm-hmm. I know you're a Florida boy,
Um,
so you've probably been to some Daytona races, right?
Yeah, I've been to. So the races I've been to the '07 All-Star race. Um, Spring Richmond Nationwide race in 2009, which I couldn't tell you anything that happened in that race.
I couldn't either.
Spring Richmond race in 2012. The Spring Dover race in 2014. The 2014 Coke Zero 400. 2018 500. Which fucked that race. 2019 500. I went to Atlanta in July last year and Daytona in August last year. So honestly, between those races, I would probably say the '07 All-Star race is number one.
Okay.
Um,
Who won that
Daytona-
All-Star race?
Kevin Harvick did.
Oh, of course.
Then I would probably say Daytona last year and then Atlanta last year. That's probably like my top three.
Atlanta's a great track. I went before they remodeled Atlanta, and then me and Kinsey went for the first ever race at Atlanta when they, did the restructuring. And man, that race was wild. I mean, it was so cool to see in person. So, yeah. Well, I appreciate it.
I just so happened, I was like, hey, told my stepdad, I was like, hey, do you want to go to this race in Atlanta? He was like, okay. And I was like, fuck, dude, it's probably gonna be ass just based off the fucking spring race last year. But it was really fucking good. Sucks that it got rained out, but
Yeah, well, that happens sometimes. Well, man, I don't want to keep you any longer. I know you got to get to bed. I got to get to bed, honestly. And I know maybe you don't, but
yeah, I gotta work tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah, well, good luck. But thank you for coming on, man. Again, all these podcasts, I get nervous. I get anxious because I don't know, and especially with you, I've talked to you before, but I've never really talked to you one-on-one like this. And I get nervous because I think 10 minutes in I'm gonna go, well, all right, that's all I got. I mean,
yeah.
So, dude, I had a blast talking with you. I mean, we'll have to have a second episode for sure. Thank you for coming out. This was a badass podcast. It's one of my favorites so far. I honestly, me personally, I enjoy talking to people that I know, like Toby and Cody and Tom Sears. But to me, it's more exciting for me to talk to people that I don't know as much, like you. And I had a blast, man. So thank you for coming out. I know we had to cancel ours because of your camera situation, but you got a damn good camera. You look good, man.
Yeah, this thing was only like $20 too.
Hey, everybody listening that doesn't have a camera, Mongold got a camera that looks badass for $20, so he'll send you the link. So, thanks, man. I'll let you see yourself out, but again, appreciate you coming out. Great podcast. I love talking to you, man, and we'll definitely have to do another episode here soon. And I guess I'll see you tomorrow night at Atlanta and SNS.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Hey.
All right. Awesome Mongold's going to exit the chat here soon. There he goes. And that was ARCS Behind the Driver, episode number 16, I think. It's hard to keep up at this point. I'll take a look at my phone here and make sure I'm telling you all the right information. That was awesome. Absolutely awesome. That was guest number 16. Next, actually, I think it's next Saturday night, we have Brian Rupert on May 11th, right before Mother's Day. So we'll have to make sure that SNS is, I think they're off, but we'll double check that. But that was a absolutely awesome podcast. If y'all didn't watch it live, please go back and watch that. That was one of the best. I was really worried. We all know Austin Mongold doesn't have the most emotions or any emotions here in ARCS, but that was a really good podcast. I was really proud of him, really proud of how he's doing in ARCS. He really is trying to be a contributor of ARCS, and I appreciate that. That's something that we're missing a lot. So thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back. You can see me Tuesday night in HTL's Truck Series on ABN 1. I'll be up there with Eli Sasick calling that race. And then we'll be back next Friday night with SRX Racing and another podcast with Brian Rupert, which will actually be on Saturday night because he works on Friday night. But appreciate y'all tuning in. It's been a blast. As always, I'm drunk at this point, so if anybody wants to do any racing, let me know. Shoot me a DM. But I'll see y'all next time. Tuesday night, HTL. Next Friday with ARX. And then Saturday with a special Saturday episode with Brian Rupert. Till I see y'all next time, make sure you stay on that loud pedal.
Welcome to ARCS, Behind the Driver Podcast.